Hello and welcome to another episode of Personal Injury Today, where we discuss the hot topics to help attorneys better understand their clients' cases and come to a fair settlement. Today, we're helping attorneys understand how to construct cost projections in-house. We are with Dr. Brad Poppie, and we're going to dive in. Stay tuned. On today's show, we're going to talk about how coming up with cost projections in-house is actually detrimental to your client's case. We are here with Dr. Brad Poppie, who is the founder of Injury Reporting Consultants, who's helping attorneys like you resolve personal injury cases through evidence-based medical analysis and reporting. And we want to make sure that we are understanding when we present an inaccurate cost projection to the insurance company, it can actually decrease the value of your demand. Welcome, Dr. Brad Poppie.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Dr. Poppie, why do some firms do their cost projections in-house?
Well, I think it's one primary reason is save money. You know, if they farm that out to an expert company, they can be pricey, and they want to, decrease as much, expenses as they can on their end, but also put more money in their client's pocket. So it's certainly understandable they want to save as much money.
It's definitely understandable that they want to save money. What are some of the drawbacks of doing these cost projections in-house?
Yeah, I see this a lot. Attorneys try to take their best stab at doing it, again, to save money, understandable. But I think they kind of shoot themselves in the foot by doing it. And here's why. So, case scenario, their client is injured and the attorney and their paralegals, et cetera, are going to go through a process to determine this is, the future medical care and costs associated with it based on past treatment records. Okay? Well, those treatment records may give ideas of what the client may need in the future. So orthopedic surgeons seeing the client may say, hey, this client might need a cervical fusion surgery, but what does that mean? Is that a probability, or they could if things get worse? We don't really know. So how accurate is that? We don't really know. So a lot of times their cost projections are just inaccurate, okay? And by not farming them out to an expert, okay, they don't have someone else take a look at the patient or the client to make sure that there are no underlying issues that have not been addressed. So I see this all the time. Attorney groups will call me and say, hey, we need a cost projection on our client. They've got a low back disc issue, and the treating chiropractor and orthopedic surgeon will say they're going to need some more chiropractic and maybe some injections in the spine. Can you please price that out? Great. So I examine the patient, a fresh examination. A lot of times these examinations haven't been done for 6 months or a year. Okay. Well, in cost projection world or life care planning world, that's an archaic, amount of time to go by. Okay, it's not fresh. Patient's change in status. He may have gotten better, worse, or maybe no change, but we need to know. So I do an exam, and guess what? During that exam, I may find other issues. Well, gosh, they have a knee deficit too that's never been addressed. Or maybe they're still having a little bit of PTSD from the accident. Maybe they're going to need a neuropsych evaluation. They have some cognitive deficits, or some psychological counseling to get through PTSD, whatever. But the moral of the story is there's certain things that are going to come out when they farm the client out to an expert that they're not going to know in-house, because they don't have the education, expertise, and experience to know how to actually diagnose and treat these patients, because they're attorneys. They didn't go to school for that. They don't know. So what they don't know can and will hurt them. It's one of those scenarios.
That totally makes sense. If you're watching this and this is valuable to you, please share this information, share this video with a client or with other attorneys, and then definitely like the video and then subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification so that you can be updated anytime we come out with new episodes. quick question, is it more creditable to have a third-party cost projection versus in-house?
Absolutely. The insurance company will take that report much more seriously. Because again, to do these reports as an expert, you have to be certified. You have to be a certified life care planner. Okay? And there's a reason why there's a certification for that. So if attorneys are doing them in-house, a lot of times the insurance company just kind of blows it off as like, oh, these numbers are skewed. It's not a legit report. But when it's farmed out, they're taken much more seriously because that expert is going to have to go possibly testify on the stand and back up those recommendations and numbers. So it's a little bit different, weighted report per se.
So it sounds like they're trying to save money, but on the other hand, there's a lot of costly mistakes that are happening with these in-house cost projections. What other issues start to arise?
I think the most common issue is, like I said before, so many of these cases, the last time the client was seen by any medical professional could be months ago or even years. So again, those recommendations are archaic, okay? So what is required in that instance is for someone, whether it's, again, the law firm trying to do it or certified life care planner doing it, but they're actually physically calling and or emailing those providers to get updated, fresh recommendations. And what those providers will require is an actual reevaluation. They need to see them in their office so they can put their eyes on them again and see what's going on, okay? And then it's the job of the cost projection specialist to actually be calling them to get them. Well, what we find is that a lot of doctors or just healthcare providers are anti-attorney. When a law firm is calling you saying, hey, we need to talk about patient Joe Schmo, they clam up because it's like, oh, why are you calling me? Mm-hmm. But when a doctor life care planner calls them, we can kind of talk the lingo and they're more comfortable because we can talk, on the same page, we have the same training. So they open up and it's easier to get those recommendations out of them that the client needs to then put in the report. So it's more accurate.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And it sounds like, Dr. Brad Poppie is a really nice guy, very, very open and welcoming. So pick up the phone and give him a call at IRC or send him a quick email. It sounds like you're open and willing to talk to any attorney about their case and just brainstorm some ideas to help them move forward.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching.